Hello Football Manager fanatics, and welcome back to another episode of Testing Your Tactics. If you're a new viewer, stick around. I hope you like what you see. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support. Now in today's episode, we're going to having a look at CairozinhoFM Xabi Alonso's inspired 3-4-2-1 tactic. Three teams we are going to be testing with today: Sevilla, also with Crystal Palace, and with Manchester United. Let's get into today's episode. Now, as always, no badges, no past experience, and no transfers are going to be made with these tactic tests. We are going to be going on holiday for the whole season with our assistant manager taking control as well. Let's have a look at this tactic. Now, the CairozinhoFM Xabi Alonso 3-4-2-1. It is a custom tactical style with a balanced mentality. In possession, very narrow attacking width with passing to space, underlap on the left and the right, and focus down the right and the left. Now obviously the underlap is going to come into play when it is going to be a narrow attacking width here as well. Passing directness is going to be shorter with a higher tempo. Now just having a look at this, and this is something new that I've been doing with looking at these tactics. I think having passing to space isn't going to be a benefit when you're trying to underlap or be quite narrow as well, because if you are going to be bringing your team all in like this, where's the space going to be? But it is going to be low crosses in the final third with run of the defense dribble style as well. It is a counter press and a counter with distribute quickly and to roll it out with no one in particular to distribute it into here. Out of possession, a high line press of engagement with a much higher defensive line as well. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution with a trigger press much more often, get stuck in, step up more, and invite crosses. Again, I wouldn't go invite crosses here. I'd probably try and trap them inside personally because of how narrow that we are going to be playing. But yeah, that's for another time there. Now looking at the roles, sweeper keeper on defend with no instructions added here. 3 ball playing defenders. Left and right hand side have dribble more, close down more, and to tackle harder. The middle ball playing defender has dribble more and to tackle harder. Wing back on attack on the left hand side, take more risks, dribble more, run wide with the ball, shoot less often, stay wider and to tackle harder. All of those for the right hand wing back as well. A Segundo Volante on support on the left hand side of the defensive midfield with tackle harder added in here. Roaming playmaker on the right hand defensive midfielder position, move into channels and to tackle harder. 2 attacking midfielders on attack. Left hand side is take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, roam from position, move into channels and to tackle harder. The same for the right hand side with the advance forward on attack with tackle harder as well. Now we are on the page for Sevilla. Let's see how we get on. Now we have beaten our media predictions slightly. We finished in 4th place and qualified for the Champions League. 22 wins, 8 draws and 8 losses across the season. A goal difference of plus 32, which is the 4th best in the league as well, so it kind of befits our position that we are in. 74 points on the board achieved as well, so way ahead of 5th place, but we are slightly behind 3rd place Barcelona here. Now, we're not involved with the goals scored or the average rating. However, we have got 2 players in the assist charts, with Suso with 13 and Marcos Acuna with 12, 1st and 2nd respectively there. Yellow cards, Marcao with 11 and Sergio Ramos with 10, 1st and 2nd there as well. So the team overview, we scored the 2nd most amount of goals with 69 across the league, and 10 of those coming from corners. 2nd for most shots for, 3rd for fewest shots against. Pass completion, we're not there, nor are we there for most possession, nor for tackles won, but we are top 4 dribbles made. We're not involved with the most clean sheets, however, but we are 5th for fewest conceded. Looking at the other competitions, European South American Club Challenge, never heard of this competition before, but we were runners-up. UEFA Champions League, knocked out in the round of 16 by Manchester United. Runners-up in the Super Cup, and we was knocked out in the 2nd round to Antequera CF in the Spanish Cup, which isn't fantastic. But looking at the 1st division and how we did perform, again, the reason why I look at the 1st division is because you're more likely going to get a run of form with these games here. And we started off really well, actually. We won 4 of our opening 5 games. We beat Granada 2-0, Bilbao 1-0, 3-2 against Vigo, and then 3-0 against Cadiz. But then we did lose to Las Palmas and to Real Madrid as well. Atletico Pamplona beat them 4-1, beat Almeria 2-1, beat Villarreal 1-0, and then drew to Girona, beat Getafe 4-1, and then lost to Real Atletico Madrid even, and Real Betis. you know what? It's not too bad, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing what the other tests are going to bring up as well. We lost to Barcelona 1-0, but we beat Mallorca and Vallecano 4-1 each as well. Lost to Alaves and to Bilbao, but we only lost one of our last probably 12 games that are here. And I've just seen a 9-3 against Almeria, which is absolutely fantastic. A 3-1 against Atletico Madrid, so a bit of revenge from earlier on in the season. And we did the double again over Mallorca with a 3-1 and Vallecano with a 2-1. Looking at the squad, 18 goals and 0 assists for Youssef En-Nesyri. Suso got 18 goals and 15 assists, the best performing player other than Rafa Mir here, but over the games that were played. Lucas Ocampos with 13 goals and with 2 assists as well. Now our next test is going to be with Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Let's see how we get on. Our media prediction of, I think it was 11th, and we finished in 6th place. Fantastic. Europa Conference League has been secured with this team. 18 wins, 10 draws and 10 losses across the season, a goal difference of plus 21 and 64 points on the board. Now if you're a Palace fan, you'll take this all day long. 9 times out of 10, this is a perfect season for you here. We're not involved with the goals, average rating, assists, player of the matches, clean sheets, or for yellow cards as well. So bit of a neutral one here. 8th for the most goals scored across the division, 60 in total for the season. We're not involved for the most shots for, but we are 5th for the fewest shots against us, so it is quite defensively round here. Best pass completion, we're not involved with that, or the possession. Tackles won, dribbles made, 5th for clean sheets, and we are 4th for fewest goals conceded as well. So in the English FA Cup, to be honest, that's still to be played. Let's go and have a look at that. But we were knocked out in the round of fourth round by Everton, so it's thrown me off the fact that there's still a game to be played, and that is actually today. So you know what, let's go forward for the season and let's see if we can qualify for the Europa League instead. And we have, there we go, we've qualified for the Europa League. Looks even better now. So looking at the schedule and how we did perform across the season, obviously we won 10, drew 10 and lost 10, but we beat West Ham 2-1, beat Newcastle 2-1 as well. Drew to Man City and to Chelsea as well, but then lost to Sheffield United. Typical football manager, that is. Nottingham Forest beat them 2-1, beat Burnley 2-1, drew with Man United, beat Fulham. So that there, losing one of our first potentially 10 games, is fantastic form. Although it did kind of drop down a little bit here. We lost to Everton, lost to Arsenal, lost to Tottenham, lost to Brentford, 3-1 to Villa, lost 2-1 to Wolves, 1-0 to Newcastle. We didn't concede that many, which is reflective in the fact that we conceded the 5th fewest goals in the division. I quite like this tactic, if I am being honest. I mean, we drew against Man City, we beat Chelsea, and we only lost 3 games towards the last end of the season. Some big wins as well, 4-1 against Arsenal. And we also beat Wolves 7-1, second to last game of the season. Fantastic stuff. Looking at the squad, the goals were spread around as well. So Eduard got 12 goals and 3 assists. Elise with 9 and 9, with Matheus Franca getting 6 and 1. Now our last test is going to be higher up the pyramid with Manchester United. Let's see how we get on. And now we actually got sacked with the Manchester United test. It's the 2nd episode in a row now where we have been sacked. Trying to do a test with Manchester United. So job history, we were in 11th place when we got sent our marching orders, and we were sacked on the 3rd of December as well. Yeah, interesting. Let's have a look at how we got on with Manchester United then. So 3rd of December is when we got given our marching orders. How did we perform? Let's have a look at all competitions as well, up until the 3rd. So we beat Tottenham 1-0. That's good. Lost 1-0 to Liverpool. We beat Brentford 2-1. Lost 1-0 to Luton. 3-0 victory over Aston Villa. We drew 1-1 with Sevilla in the Champions League. Beat Wolves 4-1 in the Prem. We beat Bournemouth 2-0 in the Carabao Cup as well. Lost to Bournemouth 2-1. Beat Shakhtar 6-2. Lost to West Ham 2-1 in the Prem. Drew to Palace in the Prem, but then beat Mould. Lost to Man City in the Prem. Beat Swansea 3-2 in the Carabao Cup. Why did we get sacked here? Chelsea beat them 2-1. We beat Mould 1-0. We lost to Forest 1-0. We beat Sevilla 2-1. And then because we lost to Brighton in the Premier League 3-1, we got the sack. I think that's pretty harsh. Although it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. be fair, we lost 7 times in the Premier League, so that is probably why we got the sack. Now, the Manchester United result aside, I actually quite like the tactic for this one here. Again, I would probably try and push the team to bring the team inside rather than not allowing them anything. If you're going to play that narrow, bring them in as well. Maybe take away pass into space as well. But a very good tactic. As always, it's going to be linked in the description down below. And I'll see you on another episode of Testing Your Tactics. If you like this video, or if you'd like me to test any other tactics, please let me know as well. I'll see you on the next one.